So, hi. We have been talking about breaking a pattern, especially when it's about an attachment, like emotional attachment style. Not only that, but when we have been repeating the pattern in relationships. And usually we end up in the same situation that is painful and is like taking us back to get in touch with the old wound. Sometimes we are not conscious about it. So I would like to share with you today what has been my experience trying to break the pattern. Well, the first thing that happened when I was trying to, my pattern was when I would get emotionally involved and completely attached to someone who was vague, was in a lot of confusion, with someone who never said no, that I don't want to be with you, but at the same time it wasn't totally there. So the more the person hesitated, the more I get attached, and the more I try to do more. I try to be more present. I try to take care of his feelings and his needs. I was always available. So I realized that I was doing that for pretty much every time I fell in love with someone. I would do that with the same painful result, not being the chosen one. So to break the pattern, I was already in that situation, so I decided to start thinking about what was good for me, what was I feeling, instead of what I wanted to accomplish. Because usually when you are repeating a pattern, your inspiration or the power that keeps you attached to that situation is a thought in your mind or a belief that if you do more, if you do better, you're gonna get the love of that particular person. That's all you want. It's like the focus is, I want this person to love me. It's not about how do I feel in this situation. So the first thing that we need to do is to shift the focus. Instead of being the other person, the person you want in your life to love you and to choose you, is what is good for me? What makes me feel good, safe, confident, loved, appreciated, valued. So the shift needs to go that way, to focus on your needs, your well-being, your peace. And it's complicated because at the beginning, let's say you know in your mind what you want to do, but then you have these recurrent thoughts all the time that, oh, maybe if I try this strategy, maybe if I go no contact, maybe if I do this or that, occupies all your energy in your mind. So every time you observe yourself and you're conscious, you're aware that you're doing that, you shift the focus onto yourself, asking, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about myself? Am I anxious? I am feeling anxious, or I am feeling at peace. What is the feeling that is in my heart right now? So, and you have to try this and practice every day, many times, because you're trying to change something that is so powerful, because you have been doing this for so long that it's not easy. You need repetition. Every time, this is my cat, every time you find yourself thinking, what else can I do for this person to love me? What can I say? What can I create? How can I change myself so he will love me? Instead of that, is how is this feeling, this attempt that I'm trying to accomplish, is good for me? Is making me feel anxious, or is making me feel at peace? Is making me feel happy about myself, or is making me feel a shame, because sometimes we know that we're doing something that we shouldn't do, but we can't stop it because it's like an addiction. It's actually an emotional addiction that we are trying to break. So that's why it's so hard. So remember this. Every time you are thinking about what to do to get this person's attention or this person's love, is shift into how I feel about this. What is good for me? What makes me feel safe? What makes me feel at peace? What gives me joy? That is going to be, the compass of your work trying to break the pattern at the beginning. If you have any comments, please let me know what you think. Let me know where you are in this particular situation. And please subscribe to my channel. That will help me and other people to find this information that probably will be very helpful and may save a lot of tears to many people, like it did to me. So in coming videos, I'm going to explain further, the whole process, so you will see what I'm talking about in a practical way, not just in theory, right? Thank you for watching. Namaste. See you next time.